I like to give all praises to the Most High. And, today we're going to be looking at, why did the Most High hate Esau, man? And, of course, we know that Esau was a wicked man, exceedingly wicked. But, when you get into the other books, there's other things that, pop up that show you why the Most High hated him. That they don't tell you in the Bible. And, a lot of these pastors, they don't want you to get into the other books. But, there's other information out here in great details, man. So we're going to take a look at it. Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So I'm pretty sure we've all seen this before, man. And we're going to get into, why, the Most High really hated Esau, man. So this is the ancient book of the Jubilees. And we're going to look at the first paragraph more towards the bottom where I highlighted. And it says, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn. For he was a man of the field and a hunter. And he learned war, and all his deeds were fierce. All his deeds were fierce. So Jacob learned to write. Esau did not learn. So we're going to keep going. So this is the ancient book of Jasher. And I'm going to just read the highlighted part. And it says, and at that time Isaac sent his younger son Jacob to the house of Shem and Eber, and he learned the instructions of the Lord. And Jacob remained in the house of Shem and Eber for 32 years, and Esau his brother did not go, for he was not willing to go, and he remained in his father's house in the land of Canaan. And Esau was continually hunting in the fields to bring home what he could get. So did Esau all the days. And Esau was a designing and deceitful man, one who hunted for the hearts of men and unveiled them. So I'm going to stop right there. So unveil means, to, you see our, put the definition right there. It means to persuade or do something by means of deception and flattery. So we see that, Jacob was learned in the ways of the Lord. And Esau, he didn't want to learn. He was reluctant to learn, and he didn't know how to read and write, So that's a no-go, man. And you see, everything he did was by deception or flattery. He hunted for the hearts of men. He cared about the praises of men more than the praises of God. So let's keep going. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the Lord thy God, I will also forget thy children. So, if you reject the knowledge, the Most High is going to reject you also. And you can't be no priest of the Most High if you don't know the knowledge. If you reject the knowledge, if you reject that wisdom, man. So Esau, he couldn't read and write. So that's, he couldn't learn the ways of the Most High, man. And he couldn't be no priest. This is the wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 28. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. So the Most High loveth none that him that dwelleth with wisdom. And that's the wisdom of the, of the Most High. So this is why he hated Esau, man. You see right here. Not only because he was exceedingly wicked, but because, he rejected the, the knowledge, man. And he couldn't be a priest, but yet still, Esau still wanted the birthright, after he sold it to Jacob, just to get what he wanted. That was another reason the Most High didn't like him. He did whatever he could to have his way, and then he wanted the birthright back. But he wanted the birthright, but he rejected the knowledge of the Most High, man. You know what I mean? Oh, man, let's keep going. 1 Corinthians 3:19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, man. So all of this knowledge, man, of this world, man, outside of this Bible, man, it's foolishness with the Most High. The Most High don't care about it, man. Like it says, the Most High loveth, only those that dwelleth with wisdom, man. And it's the wisdom of the Most High, the wisdom of these scriptures, man. That's who he's gonna make to be priests. And elevate. There's a wisdom that is wise unto the world. You know, so there's a wisdom that is wise unto the hearts of men. You know what I mean? On this world, you mean people that's outside of the scriptures. You know what I mean? So there's a wisdom out here that people marvel at, like, oh man, you know, this guy's wise, man. This is a wise man. You know, and it actually speaks about things like that in the Bible. You know, when a wise man speaks, and a rich man speaks, I believe. You know, when the wise man speaks, you know, people disregard him, like, hey, you know what I mean? Get this fool out of here, man. But when the rich man speaks, you know, people look at him and they marvel and they exalt him, like, oh man, they marvel at his words, you know. You know, they stop and you know, you know, they're stumped, you know. You know, the word it says the words of the wise man, you know what I mean, are not heard, man. You know, it's the words of fools that are, you know, that are elevated, man. So that's a wisdom that's wise unto the world, man. You know. Romans 1:22, professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, man. You know what I mean? So you see a lot of people, you know, they're educated unto the world. You know what I mean? They have the you know, their bachelor's, master's, PhD, things like that. But if they're outside of the knowledge of the Most High, you know what I mean, the wisdom of the Most High, they're fools, man. They're fools. You know what I mean? Because all those degrees at the end of the day are all vain, man. You know, that's vain glory. Wisdom of Solomon 3:1. Surely vain are all men by nature who are ignorant of God. You know what I mean? So Esau was vain by nature, man, because he didn't want to study the scriptures, man. And he didn't know the Most High. You know, that's why he, you know, he continued to grow exceedingly wicked, man. Everything he did was vain. Vain glory. Everything that he set up is vain, man. You know, it's all about, you know what I mean, self-worship and the praises of other men. The praises of men and not the praises of the Most High. You know? And that's what's going to happen when you're destitute of the wisdom of the Most High, man. You know, you're going to chase after vain things, man, that profit nothing in the end. And Abraham loved Jacob, but Isaac loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandment regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob more than Esau. You mean? So Abraham was already putting it in her ear, man, in Rebekah's ear. You know, hey, take care of Jacob, man. And at the bottom, it says right here that I highlighted, let thy heart rejoice in thy son Jacob, for I have loved him far beyond all my sons. That's Abraham speaking right here. Far beyond all his sons. And Abraham had about 9 sons, man. And he loved Jacob more than all his sons. Because Jacob, you know what I mean, he was learned in the scriptures, man. You know what I mean, he was on fire. He probably was on fire for the Most High, man. You know? Revelation 2:26. And he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him I will give power over the nations, man. So the Most High, you know, these people that he's going to give power over the nations is those that, you know, kept his works. I mean, these are people that's, you know what I mean, that know the Most High, that study the scriptures, man. The Most High's not going to put anybody over, that give anybody reign over the power of the nations like Esau, man. I mean, again, when you know what I mean, when he's reinstating his people, it's not gonna be, you know, people that's unlearned on the scriptures, man. You know, and you know, those Jews over there in the land, you know, those guys don't know the scriptures, man. You know what I mean? Because if they still claim themselves to be Jews, the Jews, you mean the people of the book, that's a lie, man. And the Most High's not dealing with, he's not dealing with them, man. You know, they just have a temporary reign because of our forefathers, man. You know. So, you know, I just have to get that one out, man. All praises to the Most High, man.